We were still getting
1 million views
comments and stuff. So.
and 1 million comments on the microphone. And now Brian's going to say 1 million views and 1 million comments.
1 million views and 1 million comments.
No, you gotta do it now.
5 minutes later.
That's not nerdy enough. 5 minutes later.
No, it's SpongeBob, man.
I don't watch SpongeBob. You act like I've got a life.
You've never watched SpongeBob.
Oh, my kid's doing the laugh is... I want to make that laugh my cell phone ringer. Turn it all the way up when I'm at the gym. Let's see how many people freak out.
What's wrong with you? Bye. Mine's coming out in November.
Which one?
The Fold, iPhone Fold.
Oh, you're one of those.
I am. Wait, what does that mean?
Apple person.
And we are live. I am here. I am the one. Hey, don't touch me.
He's back.
Not here for you to touch me.
He's back. He's here in person.
It's abuse, man. Ooh, you almost destroyed
You went to
your
DC.
phone. I did. It was fun. There was a lot of walking, though.
Did you run for Congress?
I did. I did not get Congress. No, they didn't vote for me.
In case anybody is wondering why I made that the title last week, it's because I had no idea what I was going to say to myself in front of a camera, which is very difficult. So I made this obscure title thinking, well, maybe nobody will click on it. And people actually clicked on it and watched. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
How was your trip?
It was good. It was like Walter Smitty goes to Washington. It was Brian Walter went to Washington. Son loved it. It was a lot of walking, really good weather. It was 70-ish.
How many people with like assault rifles did you see?
A few. Yep, there was a few. National Guard everywhere. They were nice people. Nice guys and women.
I would hope so. They're carrying like automatic weapons.
Police everywhere. I don't know how any crime is in that city at all because there was just police everywhere.
I guess the National Guard was called in and they've been there ever since.
Yep. Helping the police clean up the city.
Brian, your mic is quiet. Ooh, I'm going to do this. Hey,
How
we're going
about
to do
if
this.
I eat it? I'll eat it for you.
I'm going to turn up Brian's mic. Try it again.
All right. Well, I'll just talk.
Brian's talking. Come on. Good talk.
Marto, let me know. Let me know if it's quiet.
People want you to talk. You got to talk now.
They do.
Is that enough? I turned up the gain. See if that helps.
But we went to all the museums, all the monuments, did all the things. So it was really good.
Did you see the Lincoln Memorial and go to the
Lincoln? Yep. Thomas Jefferson.
Did you come back with new conspiracy theories to discuss? Is what somebody wants to know.
Oh. Matt, no, nothing new.
Did the museum come alive at night?
I did not see it. I
You
didn't
did
see
not
it come
see
up.
it.
We were there during the day. They won't let us in there during the night.
You got to carry one of them flashlights. Like the night at museum, you got to have the one and got to spin it in your
I
hand and
looked
stuff.
all over, man. I could not find one of those. I don't think they have those anymore. They're all LED now.
LED. So you drove or no? You flew.
We flew.
You flew there. How
We
was
just
it?
drive. We don't drive places.
I don't know if I could. I don't think I could drive farther than that. We had somebody at my company. They decided to drive to Colorado and back. It's like, wait a minute.
I've done that. That's a long drive.
Isn't that
Drove
like
to Florida.
20 hours on the road?
Yeah.
That's 20 hours. 20 hours on the road. We have 3 young kids. I don't know if I could do that.
That's if you drive nonstop. Actually, going to Colorado is not bad except for when you hit Nebraska, because Nebraska is just a really long state of nothing. It's just flat cornfields and fields. Just it's the same thing for like 10 hours.
And people live there?
Mind numbing. Yeah, people live there.
There's just nothing but corn?
I don't know. I'm sure there's something elsewhere in the state, but when you're driving through on the highway, there's just nothing to look at.
Some random farmer's watch is like, no, I grow soybeans, you idiot.
Oh, yeah. We don't have corn. That's Iowa.
That's so last year.
Well, Nebraska Cornhuskers, right?
Hey, I bought a tractor. It might be a little teeny tiny one, so I am in. I'm part of the farmer
You're a farmer.
crowd. I'm a farmer crowd, even though I live in suburbia.
You own a tractor, so now you're automatically a farmer. Well, I have a garden, so does that make me a farmer? I at least grow food.
Well, you could be like, no, you gotta have a tractor.
You gotta have a
have to have a tractor. If you don't know what PTO means, you don't qualify.
I've just got a riding lawnmower. It doesn't really count.
See, that's more foo-foo tractor stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the guys who try to put a front loader on the front of their little John Deere garden mower. That's the same thing. The frame isn't there. Don't do that. You're going to destroy your lawnmower.
Well, there's some that actually are made for it, but they kind of, they're weak.
Was it good to get away?
It was very good. Very good to get away.
From me?
Have some from you, yeah, and your nonsense.
My squirrels.
Your squirrels.
All my squirrels. There are
always
so many
trying to
squirrels.
trip me up with your questions and your comments.
So what does Brian think about that? What? What were you
Wait, what?
saying?
I wasn't listening to you. At least I'm honest about that.
Yeah, well, that's why he's on the channel.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
Brian keeps me in check. There are wind farms and a single power plant in Nebraska you can see. Nothing else for 3 hours. Wait, I could see the wind farms, but they actually have a power plant in Nebraska? I thought everything was coming out of the Hoover Dam. Or is that mostly west?
I think that's way west.
West of there. How's both mic? Okay, Matt says both mics are good. We've got quite a bit to talk about today.
We do. Oh, last thing.
Oh.
Wednesday, went to PT. I could run now.
You can
I
run?
graduated to running. Did the strength test.
Is it a limpy run or is it like a actual
It's an actual run.
like a Forrest Gump run?
No, nobody could run like Forrest Gump, but it's somewhere between. Run, Forrest, run.
And Tom Hanks said, "Thank you very much."
No, so I'm almost there. I'm 86% from my right to my left leg as far as strength. So as soon as that hits 90, I could get on the skates and do an open skate again.
So in case you guys don't know, Brian plays hockey, and he still thinks that he can play hockey. So he injured himself, and now he's getting healthy again. So the first time that he gets back on the ice, he'll be like, it'll be the other leg this time.
Probably a couple years. They'll probably blow that one.
And he's trying to get me to get back into playing hockey because I used to play a lot of hockey, and I'm actually pretty good skater. I'd like to think I'm more of like a figure skater, kind of not a hockey skater. No, I don't figure skate. I play hockey. So
pick.
I don't think I could do it again, though. I mean, I'm in my 40s.
You could get back into it.
But
It'll take you a little while.
Said the guy who's on PT from injuring his leg.
That was just a freak thing. It was going to happen whether I was on skates or not.
You just like walking down the street every day, and some guy just random's like, "Hey, I'll check that guy."
I could have done that playing pickleball.
You have a very checkable body. Just hold still, sir.
You were by a wall.
Because that's common.
Yeah. If you want to get checked, go stand by a wall.
And good for you, though.
Looked like you had a puck.
Good for you. You're back. You're almost back.
I still have 6, maybe 7 months of rehab to go. I'm almost there, man. I'm getting there.
Matt says, "Play while you can. Turning 50 changes everything." Brian is over 50.
I am. I'm 52.
He eats like nothing but protein and Slim Jims while he's at the gym. Works out like 16 times a day.
No, I've gotten
lifting gallon of milk jugs.
I've gotten fat because I haven't played since October, and like you stop moving and you just keep eating. It starts on. It's terrible, man. Because I used to have a fast metabolism where I would just metabolize everything. I could eat anything I want and just never gain weight. But now it's tough.
Since I hit 40, I started gaining weight quick, even though I was working out. I used to be able to have a whole pizza like yourself.
Yep.
And I noticed when I told my wife, like, "Hey, I'm gaining weight really quick. I got to be careful with what I'm eating." And she, every so often, I'll notice that my meals have like a single piece of lettuce. Where it's like, there's only 3 or 4 carrots. I'll look at my daughter's plate and she's got more food. And it's like, what is this? Like, what? She goes, "Well, you need to stay healthy." I says, "What am I going to be eating when I'm 50?
You got to watch your macros, man."
Like, I'm going to have like 1 peanut. That's going to be my dinner. Like, that's all I got. I am gaining my weight back. I'm back to 183, 184.
Wow, you're fat.
I'm almost back.
I'm kidding.
I'm almost back. I was at the gym the other day, and I'm almost back to what I was benching and doing everything. So my pancreas is not killing me anymore, I think.
Nice.
And now if I have a problem, it might be because I just had coffee. So if you guys get to see that online, make a meme out of it, and it'll go viral. And it'll be the only time I ever go viral for anything at all.
Because you're in pain.
Or it's not some sort of government news article or something with some drama somewhere. But no, that's good. That's good. So you're going to play this fall then?
I'm looking for the fall. Yep. Get out there probably June, July to test the skating. And then probably by the fall, hopefully, I'll be playing again.
Are you going to rollerblade in the meantime? Can you do that yet?
I think once I can get on the ice again, I could rollerblade. But they don't want the lateral movement right now.
Oh, you think that'd be because it's your ACL?
It's the ACL, yeah.
Okay.
The stability of it.
Okay.
They still say at this point, even though it feels a lot better, this is when people re-injure themselves because they think they could do things that they're not supposed to yet.
That would be me. I'd be one of those guys.
I feel fine.
I don't have a problem.
I can go.
I can do this. So here's what we got today. We have, I know our thumbnail says 122,000 and we're at 133,000. We're still trying to pad the portfolio against some kind of drop. If you look at, there's a bunch of stuff we want to talk about that coincides with this, but if you actually look at what we've got in here, we have a lot of Intel growing. Remember we talked about it'll be interesting to see what happens with Intel. Intel is interesting.
177% as of right this moment.
And Brian, when you were on vacation, I did a no. I did stock
You
moves.
sold things. You didn't
did.
consult me.
I did
You waited
not.
for me to go on vacation to just sell things.
I did. We sold ExxonMobil. I told Brian ahead of time that if the Strait of Hormuz was going to open back up, it would be a good time to sell because ExxonMobil's profits been relatively. It's on an upward trajectory, but it's not what the stock price did in the past. I don't know, 6 months, something like that. Let me pull them up here so you guys can see this. But they, for whatever reason,
That's not right.
that's a stock. Outset Med Inc. That's not what I'm looking for. We're going for ZOM here. Here we go. ExxonMobil. So I said that if they were going to open up the Strait of Hormuz again, I was just going to sell them because we already have my personal portfolio already has Occidental Petroleum. We already have Chevron. And we're trying to keep the portfolio lean so that we can actually keep track of the companies that we're buying. And ExxonMobil was one of those ones that if you look over the past 6 months, I mean, look at these guys. Even with the drop they've had since I sold them last week, it's still up 32%. So we made like 60 some odd percent. Hey VR, hey, Jim guy, I saw you were there yesterday. Welcome. If you got finance questions, you should ask me all the nerdy questions right now, and I will try to pretend that I know what I'm talking about, and then just ask Brian the question, and then he will respond with an actual educated answer.
Well, I should comment on, because I saw your comment, and I haven't commented back yet. But yeah, we did start to do some definitions of terms that you should know. But that was like really boring for people to watch.
Yeah, yes,
We didn't
it
get a
was.
lot. So maybe we'll do one video where we could just go through all the definitions of the basic terms that you should know, or the ones that we actually use on stream, so that we could just point you to that. Here's the video. Go watch it. Scroll through it. Maybe we'll do a timeline for it so that people can scrub it to what they need to get out of it, just to have, you know?
And then we will fully capitalize on that by making like 5,000 different short videos out of it. Please notice us.
Maybe we could
Please gratify me.
We could put some Easter eggs in there for people to find.
So yeah, that's ExxonMobil. We sold them. I don't remember what the percentage gain was. I know it was over 50%. And then as far as what we bought last week, if you were with me on the stream and you actually clicked on the obscure title, thank you very much. But we bought United Health, and I can show you those transactions as well. A tutorial would be incredible. Oh man, you're asking me to extract stuff out of my head and make it make sense.
Oh, a full-on tutorial? Like, oh,
We could do that, I guess. That might be something where like a member clicks on it and we can help them that way.
yeah, I think that's going to be a member thing, man. That would be huge. A huge undertaking to make a tutorial like that.
Hey, and
which
we
we talked about.
Yeah, we make $5 a month. I mean, we
Right
could
now.
we
least on
could use
YouTube.
that. We could put that money towards that.
Towards the tutorial.
You might get like my daughter's drawing stick figures on a piece of paper, but that'd be the quality of production you get for $5. So.
I think it would be more like a course. So we'd have to put together a course and put it on Locals or Patreon or something, and then members can get access to that course.
And just so you guys know, that is the plan eventually
Yeah.
to start building this out a little bit more. For now, here's our transactions. You can see the sell. We sold ExxonMobil. There it is, $153 a share. So we made good money on that one. And then we've got United Health. We bought them. I think that's I wouldn't call them like the company's got problems. I would call it a value mismatch. It's kind of like what Intel was. They get sometimes when the stock market reacts, they overreact. So if it's like ExxonMobil, they're overly positive about it. Or if it's like United Health or Intel or 3M or any of the other ones that we bought, they get overly pessimistic on it. And it's a lot of emotional based trading. We try to avoid that. So if you're...
We harp on that. Do not use emotion when you're trying to buy and sell stock.
Yes.
You will lose your mind.
And your money.
Yep.
You'll lose a lot. So what we try to do, if you want like if I'm even capable of this, like a 10-second tutorial, what we try to do is we try to give a loan to a business. That's the way I see this stuff. Yes, we would consider doing a course, and that's kind of what we're hopefully going to be able to do when we get to more than $5 a month.
Yeah, it'd be something basic, something easy, because we want to keep this easy and something anybody can just pick up and do, because it really is. But it's intimidating when you look at all the different jargon and all the different things you could get into, and you listen to Bloomberg or whatever, Yahoo Finance, and it's just, it seems to go way over a lot of people's heads, and we really want to just make it easy and simple.
Brian just said some Yahoo on finance.
Yahoo Finance.
Yahoo Finance. Do you think that's why they did that? They called it that?
Yahoo. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll probably do some courses, but in the meantime, until we have them, if you've got questions while we're doing this, feel free to ask right in chat. I have no problem with being derailed. I'm very good at doing that to others, so it's kind of fun to watch me spin. If you get a good derail on me, I will stop for a minute, and then you can just laugh. It's kind of funny.
At least until we get like 1,000 people in chat, then it just keeps scrolling and we can't read it fast enough.
We're not popular enough for that.
No, right now, this is the golden age of asking us questions right in chat.
That's true. So we've got, like I said, the 10-minute tutorial or 10-second tutorial, like I said, is basically we're trying to give a company a loan, and we want to make sure that that company, with its profits, not with its equity, the stuff that it owns, with its profits, that it can pay us back on that loan. There's two ways it can do it. It can do it by increasing the share price that it has. That's the price per share that it has. So basically a piece of ownership of it. Or it can pay us in profit sharing, and that's dividend checks. And if you look here, you see this little chart here. It says dividend yield at the top right. Hopefully you can see that in there. There you go. This is what percentage per share that they pay of like the stock. So if you have $100 of Intel, you'll make 2%, or 3M, sorry. If you have $100 of 3M, you'll make 2% of that $100 every year. And that's on top of the money that you invested with them. Now, so if you look over here, you're going to see all these different numbers here. We've got this. I'll just pull up. Let me pull up one that we're not doing good at. Okay, so here we got the ones at the bottom. These are the ones that we're looking at actually buying more of. Why? Again, that's a whole different conversation. But right now we've got the cost basis. This is this line right here. This one dictates how much we paid for the stock overall. So this is our share of the business. It's a very tiny share. Now, the Campbell Soup, if you were to look at them as an entity, is worth they shrunk a lot. $6.24 billion. So of that
4.
Yeah, 6, 7. Now of the
Stop.
Of that number, it's 6.24 billion, if I can say that correctly. We own $6,000 of that. So that's the percentage share that you own. Of that,
We're major share owners.
we're major share owners.
Shareholders.
We can sit on that board and tell them to give us jalapeno flavored goldfish.
We should. They have jalapeno flavored goldfish.
They do.
Yeah.
That's why I've never seen it, because my wife hates spicy food. But here we go. Gain loss. You can see the percentage of what those shares are currently worth today. And you can see based on their share price, and then you can see how much we've made. So this one is not doing well for us. However, they have been paying us 7.6% in a dividend check since we bought them a few years ago. So the stock, you don't actually lose the money unless you sell it. So we believe that Campbell Soup will probably recover. They're in the middle of a huge restructuring. So as far as stocks go, the companies that we buy are companies that are producing products that we consider are durable.
Yep.
Whether it's a service or a product, they have to be making something or providing something that isn't going to go away anytime soon. Now, if you think Chunky Clams Chowder Soup is going to go away anytime soon, or Goldfish is going away anytime soon, one, you don't know me, you don't know Brian Ferreos, and you don't know any kids. You don't have kids, obviously, because kids eat goldfish.
And there's a lot of things that Campbell Soup makes that isn't soup that kids love.
Like tin cans.
Yep, tin cans. They're not tin anymore, though.
Aluminum. Yeah, aluminum cans. That's right. They changed it.
British friends.
Which
now,
is
look. Here's one thing to keep in mind. We are down almost 40%, 39%. That is our biggest loser, whereas our biggest winner is 175%.
So like a fat episode and losing weight.
The biggest loser.
The biggest loser.
Heck yeah.
You are the biggest loser.
I'm just trying to point out that our biggest loser is not losing as big as our biggest winner, you know?
Oh, yeah. And there's not very many of them. And this
Yeah.
is kind of frustrating for me. I like to see it when a company that produces durable products drops this much because we're already getting dividend checks. In fact, if you take these numbers out of it, this is all the profit. You can see if I were to sell everything, I would make today almost $26,000 just profit. Now, we're not doing that. Why are we not doing that? Well, there's a good reason.
Compounding interest,
And
dividends.
dividends. That's right. Compounding interest and dividends. So, regardless of what the stocks do, unless they stop paying their dividend, Intel's a good example of that, but there's another story to that. We are making now the equivalent of a Honda Civic.
Yep.
Is it a
lease?
Yeah, a Honda Civic lease.
Can't quite buy it yet. It's a little over $400 to buy it for like a 5-year.
You can get a used one, maybe.
A used one, definitely, yeah, for that. But a brand new 2026, it's like $425 a month.
So we can get pretty much a brand new leased Civic or a slightly used one on a dividend check basis alone. So,
which is an extra $4,100 a year. So you got that $26,000. Now you're getting an extra $4,100.
exactly. And that's whether the market goes up or down. This is why we hardly ever sell. And if we do, there's a pretty darn good reason for it. So when I sold ExxonMobil, we bought United Health because we feel like that's the next value mismatch. We do sell. It's not often. I would say our favorite holding period is the same as Warren Buffett's. It's like forever because they're already paying us. Every single year that goes by, we get another 5% from Rio Tinto. And that means that they can take the money that we've given them and put that into growth of their business, paying their people, hopefully taking care of their union, which apparently there's some struggles there.
Always struggles. Okay, Javier asks, just to get back to some backstory, that money in the investment, is it your guys or pool money from people or neither? It's our money.
Yeah, it's Bank of Tom.
Bank of Tom. So that is personal money that was put into this. So if you want to go all the way back to video 1, what we did is
Don't do that. You'll be sorry.
I think he went back to like video month 8 or something. He went way back.
Way back.
He's
Way
been
back.
looking. Which thank you very much for doing that. We do appreciate it. So what we took was the U.S. Census info on what people have as disposable income after all the taxes and all the money that you have to pay out for food and electricity and all that stuff, which was about $400 a month. So we decided that we're going to...
And Obama phones.
In Obama, yeah.
And SIGs. Give me my SIGs. Give me my SIGs.
Who ain't got time for that?
You got time for that.
So we decided to use
Obama phone.
$400 a month as what we're going to put into this account as an average person. And we pretty much stuck to that for a while, getting raises with at least, dividend checks that are coming in and putting that towards more stocks. There's some times that we put in, a couple grand here and there, and we raised it up to where we think we should be.
I do apologize for that. I did that because I was annoyed that nobody was paying attention to us.
Right.
Why won't they love me?
The idea was, okay, it's $2,000 and people aren't like paying attention to that. So let's raise it up to $30,000 and quickly and give people something to look at. Right. But yeah, so that's kind of what we did. And that's the backstory of the investment. It's all of our money put into it. And in 3.5, almost 4 years, we're up to $133,000. And it's not money that you probably couldn't put in yourself.
No,
that's the
not.
thing. We
could.
didn't like millionaires. You just put in $100,000 and boom, there you just move money. No,
I was trolled by that too. It's like, oh, you're just making money on the stock market because you just put a bunch of money in. It's like, look, okay, you don't know me, first of all. Second of all, I started out as a homeless guy making $5 an hour. So if I can do it, I mean, seriously.
yeah,
Seriously.
In 3.5, 4 years, anybody could make between $100,000 and $133,000 like we did. They just have to have some discipline to know how much money they could put in per month and live on the rest, right?
You have to treat it like a seed. You can't treat it like it's not something that you're, because if you go to social media, and this, I think I did a little bit of a soapbox of this last week, but if you go to social media and you check out like all this financial influence out there, there's a few that are pretty good that are finance influencers, but for the most part, a lot of them are like day traders, or they buy the super risky, like crazy sensational stocks. And you're thinking, wait, these guys aren't making money. They're like, oh, buy it. You'll make 5,000%.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they make short-term gains,
Oh,
but
they milk
long-term
it.
they lose a lot of money. It's like they got one video where they put in $10,000 into Tesla. Tesla went up 300% just because of hype, and they're like, we made $40,000 off this. Look at that. That's great. But they don't show the 6 months after where everybody sold to claim profits, and they lost all that money and more. You know?
So what you're saying is it's like the high school cheerleader. She gets milked like crazy, but you don't see her 15 years from now when she lets it all go.
That's his cringe dad joke. There you go, folks.
I gotta have one.
It's always the high school cheerleader. You got a thing against high school cheerleaders, I think.
No, I don't.
Did you ask one out when you're there? And she
I think I asked
devastated
like
you?
every single girl out when I was in high school, and they all said no. It was like all of them. It's like, what is wrong with me? I'm not that bad. Come on. Anyways,
Thanks for joining us, Fox Wave. That's the new name I ever heard in our chat.
yeah. So
If you're still here,
he clicked out after that joke. What is this guy talking about? Anyways, the income that we get from this, like Brian was saying, is predictable because of what we're buying. You got to have Hershey's. You need oil, and we need to be able to blow things up. So these three things here, that's the redneck of all the stock market. If you got those, you're solid. It's like claiming that you're a farmer if you have a tractor, even if you never use it for
you
anything.
got to have Coca-Cola too.
Oh yeah, and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You gotta have Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So these are stocks that were probably going to pay their dividends in good times and bad times. If a Democrat's in charge, if a Republican's in charge, it doesn't matter. These stocks are probably going to be just fine, unless they do something incredibly stupid. So there are stocks that do that, and we pay attention to that, and we sell them when we need to. But for the most part, we don't look at our portfolio like this. I don't look at the total market value. What we do, and now I know Intel does not pay a dividend. Different story.
I look at it, and I look at it like Mr. Burns. Excellent.
Excellent. That was actually pretty good.
Was it?
That was kind of creepy.
Javier, is it possible? Yeah, I agree with you on this as well, Javier. Is it possible to get one-on-one class to get introduced to this? Because it's hard to watch your 200 videos.
It's hard to watch one of our videos.
Are fun, but it's hard on my time. I'm glad that you said it was hard on your time and not just hard to watch. Because I go and look back some of ours and it's hard to watch. But we thought about that. And one of the problems we have is we're not licensed. And there's some legal things to go through that. I mean, we can do... who's the guy? Big guy.
Dave Ramsey?
No.
Oh, the guy that
yells at people.
Caleb Hammer?
Yeah, Caleb Hammer.
Who would do that? Like, I mean,
audit.
seriously, it's like
Financial
watching a
audit.
Jerry Springer show.
Yeah.
Why are these people like?
Because that's why.
I think I'll get popular by showing how crazy I am on Jerry Springer. Like, what? He's the Jerry Springer of like personal finance. This guy, these people come on his channel, and he just destroys them.
He doesn't end up helping every single one of them.
That is true.
So,
that is true. I'll
like
give
at
him
the end,
credit
he'll
there.
give them free classes and do they do one-on-ones, and so most people, I think he said 80 or 90% end up being helped by his, barrage of insults. And some people go on just to throw them back, but we could do like a Caleb Hammer type thing where it's not financial advice and it's just going through
Conspiracy advice.
just yelling at you for doing things wrong. But
What is Midget Fight Club? Is it real?
oh my God, Midget Flight. You're gonna get us canceled, man, on that. I swear to God.
No,
Peter
probably get
Peter
sponsored
Dinklage
by
is-
Rumble. They
he's
already
gonna
have.
come and he's gonna kick your ass.
They already have Power Slap. How can you get worse than Power Slap?
Well, I don't know. Anyway,
I like Power Slap, by the
Midget,
way. Don't cancel
'cause
it.
it's Midget Fight Club.
I do it for the freeze frames of their face rippling as the fist hits it. Or
And the concussions. Did I answer your question? I think I answered
he
it.
might have.
Maybe. But I would say for now, just come in and ask us questions that you want answered.
Javier, if you're curious and you hit us up in the gym again, what I would recommend is grab a financial advisor and then bounce us off of them. So if you got questions, ask us questions in there, and we'll try to do our best to answer them as good as we can. And then just like have a personal financial advisor go through your situation with you, and then he'll help you get to at least zero, and then we'll help you take it past that with them. But like Brian says, we're not licensed yet. I do this on my own because I've done it for, 24 years almost. I've done this a long time. I was like 19 when I started. So in my company, I have a little bit of extra. There's not a lot. So what I do is, because I know that sometimes income in a business does this, I try to make sure that I invest that extra money, and then the dividend checks I get from that, or the stock sale proceeds I get from that, I use to benefit my employees. Like we just got a whole bunch of Unify equipment, but we pay
routers and switches and networking stuff.
Yeah, it's nerdy stuff. It's IT stuff, and then I also help pay benefits with that to my staff, and we've got pretty good benefits. And it's done pretty well keeping up with inflation. I'm a little bit worried about next year, but I do this on my own. So I figure, well, hey, look, if I have to do this for the sake of my personal finances and businesses, why not be a complete idiot and put it in front of everybody live for everybody to see real time while I mess up on social media? Because I need to be validated.
Yeah, he does. He actually does. He's got mama issues.
And daddy issues. And extended family issues.
We could do a free one-time ask us questions one-on-one type thing until it becomes so much where there's so many people asking that we can't do it one-on-one anymore.
Matt has a really good point. Do we have a MFC stock? Is there a Midget Fight Club stock? So if there's any questions before we move on.
No, because he asked about MFC a few videos ago, and that's where Midget Fight Club came from, because you were trying to figure out what MFC stands for. And he was actually asking for us to do that. I think we did look at it.
It's not MasterCard. It's Mass Fur Card stock. No, what is this? This is called Manulife Finland Corp. Okay, that's not Midget Fight Club. Anyways, moving on. But the income that we get on the portfolio is what we base our decisions on long term. This is what we budget for. So the stock market can be going down. It can be like today, I guess, is a really good day in the market. We don't base whether or not we're doing well until we see the consistent number right here.
I don't even look at the market every day, whether it's going up or down.
Especially not when it's going down. I will look for opportunity when it's going down, but we make sure that the companies that we buy are durable enough to be hedged against bad environments like that, so that we know that we'll be okay. And if you look at our list, you can pretty much figure that out. Like there's a lot of these businesses, if they go away, the individual company, the actual service that's being required from that business will not go away. Like I know United Health has had a bad couple of years.
Yeah.
They've not had a good run, but they are the United States' largest health insurer. You need somebody to facilitate that. If you don't have that, what do you do when you go to the doctor? What do the doctors do when they try to get paid? Like, you need somebody to do that. So there's
we could just fix our healthcare system so it's not so damn expensive to go to a doctor that you could actually pay cash for it.
You mean like the 80s?
Yeah.
The way it used to be?
That's just me. I mean, I'm an idiot, so what do I know?
But no, we got HSAs and FHAs and all the other A's that go along with it to make it seem like it's more affordable, even though it's not. So here's that's what we're doing. And then if you take a look at the income, like I said, it's about $340 a month. We've bought a stock last week, so now we've got 3 weeks to go before we buy something else. So we're now going to not spelunk today. We've got to figure out what's actually happening in the economy, what's happening out in the world, and how to apply that to what we buy next month.
And that was part of our original charter, was we're going to buy a stock every month.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we do it just kind of like a paycheck. If you got a 401k at your company, you take a little bit out every paycheck and you put it into the market and have it work for you. You put something to work for you. So in this case, our original basis was $400 a month. We said, hey, we're going to invest $400 a month. If you don't have $400, that's fine. start where you need to start. If you got huge debt that's got huge amounts of interest rates applied to it, don't, take care of that.
Pay your debt off first.
Take care of that first.
Then put in your 401k next.
Yep. And then after that, then you can do this. But once you've got to this point, then the money starting to work for you. So
And we're almost at $400 a month just in dividends.
Yep.
Our original charter, and we could not invest ever again and just take the dividends and put it in, and we'll still satisfy our original charter.
yeah. So this portfolio would lend to a good retirement if we stopped once it's $400. No, we can, because we have, was it 26,000 in Intel?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could just take Intel and buy one of these other dividend, like we could buy AT&T with it. And even if AT&T went sideways for the next 10 years, we would have enough where the dividend check payments themselves would keep building the portfolio whether we did anything or not.
Exactly. Keep funding it.
Yep. Last week, Tom asked us to remind him to look at General Mills this week. Dang it, yes, I did. I forgot. We got a few things to talk about first, and I'm going to make sure that I have this in here. And we will look at them because these guys have been getting really beat up.
What'd you do there? Why are you searching? You control F'd it?
I controlled F. I went to find. I'm trying to find GIS. I'm looking at properties. General Mills is stock symbol GIS. There you go. Yeah. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't have them in there. Thank you, Matt. I forgot.
Because GM was already taken.
Yeah. And then they went bankrupt.
They're still around. Come on.
Here's what we got. We have
the new internet is coming.
Yeah, there's quite a few interesting things happening this week outside of what's going on with like every single fart and word and burp that Trump has and says and does. The media can't get enough of that guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Well, he is the president.
Yeah, and he does actually ask for it. So we've got the new internet's coming. The reason why this is interesting to me, we'll get into this in a minute, is because it's very true and it's kind of disturbing. So we have somebody who trolled me. If you've been watching the channel a while, you know we got called out on why we didn't buy Nike. I'd like to troll back.
Yeah, he takes it personally.
Sort of. I told you I got mommy issues? You say mommy issues?
Yeah, mommy issues.
Mommy issues, man. 43. You think I get over that? We've got the Toyota, Honda, and Ford CEOs all saying they're screwed. Like the Israelites before they crossed over.
Oh my God, you went there.
I went there. I did. Hegseth, I did not watch this one or read this one.
I sent it.
Brian said he sent it when I was on my way back from like a customer. It's like, did you watch it? I was like, I was driving. So this one apparently is pretty good. I'm very curious to know. And then we have this is like a debate. I don't know if we'll be able to play this or not, but this guy.
It's long. It's like an hour and a half long or something. So.
I don't think we'll play the video, but I want you guys to watch it on your own time if you get a chance, because this is a very culturally, it's problematic. And if it offends you, turn out. The only point I want to get to this is as investors, if you're trying to solve the world's problems, you have to understand the perspective of both sides.
Yeah. This is a lesson in critical thinking.
Yes. Like you need to see the way they think, because these people will get jobs at the companies that you're investing in. And you have to know like what their dogma is, or at least what their ideology is going to be with the money that you give them. That's why we bought XYL. Because they're supposedly going to fix the water problems.
Fix the water, man.
Yeah, fix the water problems in India. We've got our buddy over at Wolf Street, and this is exactly where he tunes and says, "You're not my buddy." But it's by Wolf Richter here.
How you guys are.
They think they know everything. But this is the largest foreign holders of U.S. Treasury securities and the basis trade.
Like that? Is that how he actually sounds? I don't know what that is. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Man, you're so brutal.
So Wolf Street. We should interview that guy
now he's
someday.
really gonna be mad at us.
I don't think he will. Come on.
All right,
you,
so we got
Tariff.
Mr. Tariffs from Trump. There's a 55% deficit cut, and the only thing I'm going to talk about later. I'm going to talk about this one later, because this one, it's funny to me. We've got a New York Post. We're talking about the generational conflict between millennials and boomers.
Those baby boomers.
Because they completely controlled when they were born. And then we have, after this is kind of not relating to stocks, but it is. This talks about demographics. This is the Russian milestone of death in Ukraine, and it's a very sad thing, but it does play a part with what the narrative is for this. We've got another one by Wolf Richter. Sorry, I'm kind of I'm a little bit
You're
of
a fanboy.
I'm a nerd fanboy. It's like those pocket protectors. Gotta get me going. So the single family home sales drop further into deep freeze. This is a very good article. There's some charts down there. We'll talk about that. And then if you haven't seen it, the NASA's actually posted photos of the lunar flyby. So we've got a link to that, and we'll show you some photos. And these are just unbelievable.
Yep. And it's the first photos from the dark side of the moon from a human perspective.
And they did not post the pyramids or the aliens.
No, they whitewashed those.
They whitewashed them. AI took them out.
Airbrushed those out.
So with that, the new internet is coming.
I admit I did not read this one that you sent.
You want to read it? You want me to read it?
You want me to read it?
Yeah, Brian, do your sexy Brian voice.
We've quietly crossed the threshold. For the first time in the internet's history, bots outnumber humans online. This milestone signals a deeper shift in how the web functions and for whom or what it's designed for. What started as an ecosystem built by and for humans is increasingly becoming one optimized for agents.
Boring.
There are 8 billion humans today, and there
Hell,
will
there's
likely be
9.
about 8 billion in a decade. Not yet.
They're wrong.
Human growth is linear. Agent growth won't be. Within the next few years, I believe an 80-20 internet will emerge. 80% agentic traffic and 20% human. That seems
Unrealistic, but okay. So what this article talks about with the bots outnumbering humans is a very sad milestone. If you're browsing the web and you're looking for anything to know about the business you're buying, stock you're looking at, political article, please note that there's probably some form of AI slop in that article. Just like our thumbnail. We just gave it kind of a train on our face, and it made a picture that looks kind of like a younger version of us. But it
need
did
to take better pictures of us.
Yeah, so that's what's happening is the internet is consolidating, and this is creating a huge structured what they call metadata. This is a giant silo of information. So when you have got your cell phone and you've got an ID that you sign into your cell phone, if it's an Apple ID or if it's a Google email or a Microsoft ID, it creates a profile for you. And this is true of your email as well, or like if you've got an office computer or a home computer and use your email to sign into that. This giant silo of data that basically becomes marketing data. What they're doing is the bots and the AI that this article talks about is they're connecting all the dots behind all the different places you visit. Your cell phone has like RF and Bluetooth, and it's constantly scanning what other devices are nearby. And it puts that information into this giant cesspool of data they call metadata to build this massive profile that is supposed to be a marketing thing for you. That's been going on for years. It's getting to the point now where what this article talks about, and I'll post a link here, is more or less becoming data consolidation. And it is a little bit of dead internet theory. And as IT guys, we see this happening pretty prolifically. And it's kind of sad because what it means is that the actual creativity that made the internet what it is becoming lost. And you are becoming a product. The product is you. If you ever buy a TV and it's like, oh, Black Friday, I got one for $500. It's a 900-inch Samsung or whatever the TV, or Roku. There's cameras in those.
Yep.
The newer ones, and they watch you.
Becoming I think you already are the product. I think you've been the product for at least 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't know this, then you probably don't have a lot of technology in your house.
Just ask Facebook.
Just ask Mark. He's got it all figured out.
You are the product. Especially if there is no discernible product, you are the product.
That's what the bots are scouring. They're scouring the history of you, and they're connecting the dots. It's not everything that's going on, but trust me when I say that your ISP knows a lot more about you than probably your spouse.
Probably.
So there is an investment thesis to this. But there's also a risk where a lot of people are buying into these AI startups, and they think that these AI startups are going to be the next big thing, where they're going to be Palantir, or what is the other one? Just ate Palantir's lunch. We did an article. I did an article on this last week. Mythic AI.
Mythic.
Yeah, who is it? Anthropic. Yeah, that's it. Couldn't think of the name. Good grief. But they think that the AI stock's going to be the next big Anthropic or Palantir, and for the most part, 95% of those businesses are probably going to go bankrupt because they don't own the data. If you're looking at investing in this space and you want to be a tech guy, please make sure that you are investing in businesses that have access to this new internet, because if bots really do outnumber people, if they don't have connections to that information, then what are they going to do? It's third and fourth party information. That's not as good. So it's funny that basically only drug dealers and software companies refer to their customers as users. Yeah, IT people do too. We call people that log into computers as users.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, they make us feel like that anyway sometimes. Yeah, I put my password in and it doesn't work.
I forgot my password.
And it's like the fifth time they called that week.
I wrote it down on a sticky note too.
And they're a security agent.
I swear I'm right. I'm putting it in right.
There's a lot of nice people, but the technology is going past what humans can basically comprehend. It's creating problems. Mm-hmm. So here we go. I'm going to have to close the door. But I'm going to have to put this in the back of people's mind as you're investing. Oh, you're going to close the door.
I'll close it.
Brian will close the door. My kids are home. You're going to hear a lot of noise if we don't. So basically, with this, when we talk about technology stocks, because I get a lot of people asking me about tech stocks and what would you buy? What's the next big AI thing? And I would say I would buy none of them because our portfolio is not like that. Number one. Number two, this is actually happening. So keep this in mind if you're looking in that space, that this is playing a part. Who owns the data? Before you buy a stock that's tech, check this. Know where they're getting their information from, because if they're just pulling it in with everybody else, they don't have a good product. On that note, speaking of products, I kind of want to wait for Brian on this, but he might be in the bathroom throwing up because I made a joke. No, so Nike, somebody asked us to look at Nike stock, and they trolled me when I said I didn't think it was a good opportunity at the time. They were not happy that I said no. There were some reasons why. This is somewhat of an Anheuser-Busch moment where they got found out for some of the things that they were doing, and they did not comment on those things. But also their finances were getting beaten up by other competitors, and they weren't doing anything about it. When that happened, I pointed that out, and they're like, oh, no, you're wrong. This was when we first started the channel. It was almost 4 years ago now. So if you look at the 5-year chart, and you go back to 21, come on, here we go, 21, 22, you can see at that time they were trading near their high. I told them that, and they said, well, that doesn't matter. It's like, yes, it does. There's boundaries to demographically how much a company can afford to buy in terms of product and how much they can sell, like how many people can afford this. I'm going through the, like somebody trolled me, neener, I was right.
Neener. Is that ColecoVision?
Told you so. It's like the kid who gets bullied in the playground. You're sitting there at night later on, because this has never happened to me, and you're like, oh yeah, well, you can't relate to that?
No. I was the guy
Fine.
on the other end of that.
Jerk.
Anyways. Is Matt talking about ColecoVision?
Yes, he is.
Intellivision was better, man. Come on.
Ooh. Burned. You were the bully on the playground. What's wrong with you?
I had a ColecoVision, or Atari 2600. But Intellivision, man, that was the bomb until 3DO came out.
You know, for all those bullies, not a single kids movie ever makes you look good.
No. Well, I was like the little dude, though. I was the little dude with the big mouth.
Oh.
That had big friends.
So you got beat up a lot.
No, I had big friends.
Oh, okay. That's what you say.
Well, okay, so nobody wanted to beat me up. Well, they probably wanted to beat me up, but like I was such a little dude that if they did, it looked really bad for them because it was this big guy beating on this little dude. Or on the flip side, if I kick their ass, then it looks even worse that this little dude just kicked your ass. So it was a lose-lose situation for them.
And that's how Brian wins.
That's how I won when I was.
I will make it look bad for you no matter
Yep.
what you do. It's funny. So, as far as the stock price for Nike is concerned,
Nike.
We looked at the fundamentals, we looked at demographics, we looked at the whole woke thing, go woke, go broke, and you're gonna have to close that. Apparently, my kids went to play outside, so that's fun.
Oh,
Let's see if Brian can close European windows. All the way.
all the way.
Come on, you can do it. Okay, now it's going to get 900 degrees in here because the computer like heats up the
It does.
super insulated house. Anyways, we looked at the fundamentals. We looked at Nike as far as they like the whole woke demographic cultural battle that they were in, and we said no. The reason why we did not had more to do with the finances and the competition that was encroaching on them than it did with the whole cultural battle that was going on. I do think that's a problem too, but look at what happened to them since then. I'm not going to talk about their high because they weren't at their high, but they were at 160 something.
But the wokeness is something that did hurt them. But I think one of the biggest problems they've had is they haven't innovated really over the last few years.
No.
When like Hoka and other shoe companies came to be and they're building a better shoe that's more comfortable, you gotta do something to innovate.
You know what they should do? They should put out a slogan that says, "We're going to build back better." We are now Nike. We're building back better. See, I could be a marketing guy.
We're gonna make shoes better again.
We're gonna make shoes better again. Make shoes great again.
You know what I'm surprised they didn't do is just buy out Hoka.
They could have.
They could have just bought them.
And they didn't.
Put 'em in.
Instead, they were focused on all the cultural stuff.
Yep.
So that's
We could do it better.
That's why when you're looking at companies, the other thing you got to look for is you got to make sure that the business is staying focused on its mission that made it successful in the first place. That might be a reminder to me directly. I don't know. But at the time,
on target.
stay on target. They were trading at $160 a share. Now they're down to like 46. In this case, now maybe they've learned their lesson. I don't know. Now we might be looking at buying them because they took the hit. And that's a massive hit.
That was. They'll eventually turn it around. I mean, this isn't the first time that they've ever had problems with another upcoming company. Look at Under Armour. You know, Under Armour came on with a superior product with a better blend of, I can't remember what they used for their stretchy material that was wicking when Under Armour came out, but
Rubber bands.
it wasn't rubber bands. It was like a rayon. I don't know. Anyway, it was a better
Rayon.
product.
Radon?
And-
like the
Not rayon.
radioactive stuff? That's why they went so nuclear in the stock price.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
George Bush. Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Yeah. So that's why. Where was I going? You stupid
Yes,
jerk.
I did it.
You finally did it. He always tries to do that to me. So yeah, you could see history repeating itself with products that come out with a superior product. Nike goes down. They have to catch up, innovate, become one with the universe again of sportswear, and they come back on top. So I see this as another version of that. I don't know how long it'll take them, but they will come back.
These are what we call black swan events in the stock market. They're not very common. If you look at the trading price today, their market cap is basically where it was back in 2017. I would call this a bubble, the Nike bubble. But now that they're actually trading down here, now we can actually take an honest look at what's the company is actually doing. When you see a stock that does this, that's a red flag to us, and it should be
Look
to
at when
you
that
too.
happens, though. It's 2020. COVID happens. 2019. People stay inside. What do they have to do? Exercise. You know. So they're like Lululemon.
You'd think that would help Nike.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's why the bubble, like Lululemon and Nike and other places like that, just skyrocketed during COVID.
I can't derail Brian anymore. He's focused.
You only get one.
only
One per
get one.
session, man.
No, you're right. That's the bubble. This is what we see when, for example, I decide to sell like ExxonMobil or when we sold Solventum, I think, or any one of the other ones that we've looked at over the years, where Warner Brothers is another example. You have to pay attention to the fundamentals of the business because this stuff happens. Now, you could say, well, Tom, what about Intel? Okay, fine. If you go look at Intel, I would condition that that's a little bit different. We need to make chips in the United States. You don't necessarily need to have clothing, especially if you live in the Caribbean. But anyways, look at what happened to Intel here. See this trough that you've got? Go all the way back to 2008. This is why when they were trading below their book value, I'm like, yeah, got to do it. When you're trading up here, though, this is why I've been talking to Brian about, do we sell Intel? Do we keep them? Do we not? Matt, do you mean the payout ratio for Nike? Or
Nike.
Yeah, I think it's probably because Intel doesn't pay a dividend. So I think for here, this is a warning flag to us. The actual business needs to be trading comparative to their competition. So if like a chip manufacturer trades on average 15 times, so the stock price is 15 times how much money they make, we have to make sure that Intel is trading within that range. If it's not doing it, that's a good candidate for sell. Now, I think Intel has further to run, but not entirely sure because we haven't done the analysis yet. So you can check it out and yell at me if I'm wrong.
Well, then they're still not fully operational with their foundry and all sorts of things.
Yeah, they're still bleeding.
Yeah.
They're still bleeding.
I still want to see that. I want to see them fully operational, the fully operational star system, star space station.
Show me your Star Destroyer.
Death
Let's
Star.
see. Payout ratio. Dividends. We need to go to dividends. Am I at, is this? Yeah, okay, here we go. Nike.
Show me. Yeah, go down.
Look at that. If you had Nike stock, I wouldn't sell. Look at that. 12%, 10%, 11%, 9%, 7%. Bada bing. They are paying more than they make, though, so that's not going to happen this year.
Yeah.
They will probably not increase their pay, and they probably are a candidate for cutting their dividend because they can't even cover their dividend for the year. So this is TTM. That means trailing 12 months. So if you take how much money they have in the bank, can they pay the dividend check that they paid for the past year? No.
How much stock are they offering these days?
Yeah, they cannot.
Are they diluting?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. We'll take a look at the finances for these guys probably next week a little bit more because I think there are some things where they could potentially turn it around now that the CEOs are actually and the executives are saying, well, this sucks. And that's usually about the time we're like, yeah, it does. We're going to come in and make it not suck because we're not sucky. Mostly.
Our dad jokes suck.
No,
They're
don't.
good dad jokes,
Good
but
dad
as jokes, they suck.
No, they don't. I like my dad jokes. So here you go. That's Nike. Now for the guy who trolled me.
Now witness the firepower of this fully operational stock.
Ouch. Maybe the dad jokes do need some work.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Our dad jokes need work.
I'll always have Star Wars in there somewhere.
So now we're looking at Nike stock. This is one that could potentially be a good one. General Mills is another one. That'll probably be, I don't know if it'll be next week.
And we don't have any textile stocks, right?
We don't. I don't think this one does. So this is one we were looking for textile stocks like 2 years ago.
For a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
There just weren't any good ones.
It's kind of like me looking for a girlfriend when I was in high school. Just like a desert.
Because you keep looking at cheerleaders. You needed to lower your standards a little bit.
Actually, I needed to raise my standards. There's a lot of dumb cheerleaders.
That's true. Hey, nothing wrong with
cheerleaders. I needed the nerdy librarian, not the cheerleader.
So don't offend the cheerleaders, man.
There's still, yeah, probably.
There's a lot of smart cheerleaders out there.
That is probably why I never got to date a cheerleader.
Yeah. Call them dumb.
Hey, I hear you're not too smart, but you sure look good.
Hey, you want one of these? They're in stock.
Yes, they are in stock.
We got them in stock now. I love this thing.
No, I am very happily married to a non-cheerleader. So, in the title, in the thumbnail, we talked about, while crossing our arms equally, we will not survive. Toyota, Honda, and Ford CEOs. I think it's funny that Toyota says this. All issue the same chilling warning about China. And it could hit your portfolio hard. This is by Becky Robertson. And this is, There you go. You want to cover this? You want me to cover this?
I don't care. China has long been considered not only an ever more efficient manufacturing force to be reckoned with, but the world's factory responsible for upwards of 30% of total industrial production, and its mastery of certain sectors, like automotive, is a growing cause for concern among stakeholders. A whopping 70% of all new electric vehicles, EVs, now hail from China, with Shenzhen
Say that again.
Headquarters.
What is that?
Shenzhen.
Shishine.
I don't know. Headquarters brand BYD far outpacing Tesla and others in sales. And
You got to raise your voice and make it more whiny. And you could just whine.
Be like Becky. Headquarters. I don't know what you're doing. And others in sales and scaling worldwide operation as a result. It has automakers like Toyota, Honda, and Ford panicking and about projects and overhauling strategy, with Ford executives saying even 3 years ago that China was way ahead of the game.
So basically what they're saying is they walk into the factory. Here's the article. Post this for everybody. And they don't see any people. There's no unions. It's all automated. It's all very, very, very
high
tech. So we don't have that here. We have unions, and I think people do need jobs, but our system is not automated to the point where we can produce this many cars without making a whole lot of jobs happen. So China's got other financial issues, but they're not wrong. They have, as far as EVs are concerned, they're way ahead of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And their ability to bring idea conception to product is a lot quicker.
It's because they're communists. They can kill them if they disagree.
Yeah, this is what you're gonna do. Make it, and they got 2 billion people to work on this stuff.
We gonna make a salibadori.
That's racist.
No, it's not. It's a joke.
That accent, it's racist.
No, that's probably would be offensive to them because it sounds nothing like them.
Yeah, that sounds more Japanese.
Japanese. I like Japanese. I got.
Is that supposed to be Korean? What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, they're not wrong, and I think this is going to affect the prices of automotive market here in the United States. If you've been keeping track, we talk about automotive and housing quite frequently. Automotive less so, but we've been keeping track of the repo market and the auction lots, and they are full.
Yeah, it's kind of the canary in the coal mine for us.
Mm-hmm. That's a good sign of if you want to know how the economy is doing, take a look at repossession lots. If you see a lot of boats and recreational vehicles, quads and RVs and things like that, and a lot of, brand spanking fancy looking cars, that people who are on payments are struggling.
Things are not going great.
Yep. And that's usually a precursor to other problems. And right now, that is definitely happening. And on top of that, we have this thing going on here where China is just quite frankly out engineering us, which is why I can mock them. That wasn't racist. That was mocking them.
I would argue not out engineering us, but out producing. Because I think the engineering part is our engineering. Because here's the process.
I'm glad he said that.
here's the conspiracy theory in me. Ready? Here's conspiracy theory for this is we decide to take our production and put it into China because China costs a lot less in labor to produce these automobiles. So China gives us the facility, the labor force, and people to go in. Then they take that and study the whole process of how this is all built, create it, duplicate it, make their own factories with the process, and they don't even have to engineer any of it. We do all the hard engineering, all the products and all that, and they just are able to put it together in their own little way, change it slightly, just so they could say it's theirs. So the engineering, I would argue, I'm sure there is some engineering there. I'm sure they do have some very smart people, but it seems to me like a lot of the products were our engineering to begin with, or Japan's engineering to begin with, or Germany's.
Brian said exactly what I was hoping he was going to say, because we've talked about that before. But what I think you're actually saying is that Elon Musk is secretly Chinese and he paid them millions and millions of dollars to have a secret hideaway bunker over in China just in case they don't face this demographic cliff that they're about to fall off of.
Is it in a hollowed out volcano?
Possibly.
With a cat.
With the cat.
White fluffy cat.
No, the thing they're concerned about here is that because it's automated and because of the way the political climate goes in China, they can steal the stuff. It's automated. They don't have to pay anybody. So the cost of them actually just shoving this stuff out to market is almost nothing.
Yeah. Now, this isn't necessarily a conspiracy theory because it's been proven that they have stolen designs
From everything, everywhere.
And created it.
Yep.
I mean, just look at Temu, right? And AliExpress, right? It's got a whole bunch of products that were created originally, and they sell it for less because they can.
I like how they show a production line that's an American production line talking about Chinese manufacturing.
Right. That's
Okay.
They couldn't get a picture of a Chinese production line.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, they can do it, and they have the government and the, I wouldn't say economy, but they do have the government and the labor force to do it. They could force them to do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, like I was going to say, they can basically hold you at gunpoint and say, do this.
Yeah.
Agree with me or else.
There's not a lot of red tape there for them to go against in a socialistic dictatorship, I guess.
It's communist. They're communists.
Communist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They're a communist capitalism.
that's what they'll tell you. Until you actually go behind the scenes and you realize, nope, this is not capitalistic. It's very oppressive. Brian, so moving on from that, that's what I want to talk about with how the automotive market, why we haven't bought an automotive stock. That's why. Tariffs are playing a huge part of it, not just with the fact that like the China manufacturing, but the fact that if we try to import any heavy metals or materials to make the cars, those are being subjected to tariffs too. So we need to see how that plays itself out before we're like, oh yeah, I'll buy Honda Motor Corp. And that was one stock that we did actually sell. We had Honda and we sold it because the CEO came right out and said, hey, this might have hit our profits by 60%. We're like, whoa, we made 40% in the stock.
We did.
We're like, okay.
Yeah. And we didn't have a lot of it.
I still like Honda, but I got to get past the noise. And that article we just shared about the automotive market, this is noise to me.
There's more risk there than we like to take. Right.
Yeah. And I need to see, because maybe this is them just doom scrolling to the other investors so the stock price goes way down and they all buy it because that never happens.
Could be.
But in the meantime, until this gets cleared up, until we know what the actual cost of the materials is going to be and what actually happens. And by the way, if you hate Trump's tariffs, if you love Trump's tariffs, those tariffs are protecting us from this problem. Not 100% of it, but in a good way, they are trying to make manufacturing domestic so this doesn't come in and steamroll all the people that work in these industries.
We're going to make manufacturing great again.
Maybe. He's trying to build it back better, but that's not actually happening as quickly as everybody thought it would. Which, imagine that. It took 26 years for NAFTA to actually get everything out of the country. It's like, oh, we'll bring it back next year. Oh, okay. Really? You can't even get the cell phone carrier to return your call in the air.
Oh, I bet you all those factories are still there. We could just move right back in.
They're not IKEA stores or Starbucks. Giant Starbucks factory.
They turned into malls, and now the malls are dead.
So what happened with Hegseth?
Okay,
what is all this?
Pete Hegseth was giving a speech to...
I'm going to open the windows up again because it's super hot.
I get it.
I should probably not wear a sweatshirt.
It is hot. So he was giving a speech at the Pentagon... at the Pentagon prayer session to rally the troops for the holy war in Iran. And
wait, what? Okay, I'm reading this.
This article is pretty biased.
Yeah, these people don't like us Christians.
But what ended up happening was I think he was talking to some of the military in this division, and they had their own little prayer that they said. I think this is what happened.
Did they say infidel?
And he took it and ran with it. And so if you scroll down,
What?
and he said it in this whole speech, that it was almost word for word the Pulp Fiction speech that Jules gives when he's got the gun against the college kid, saying, "Does Marcus see a bitch?" And what? So that whole scene
Really?
in the apartment. And so it's the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides.
Before you do this, before we get here, do you think this was serious or staged?
I think it was serious.
Conspiracy moment with Brian.
I don't think he knew that this was from Pulp Fiction.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is Brian. You can go after him.
Although
Not
it might
me.
have been. I'll leave it open that Pete knew and he took and ran with it because it sounded good. I don't know.
And before Brian gets on his thing, Matt, yes, Toyota, all of them are. Honda's moving stuff back to the United States too. So like the stuff that you're seeing with tariffs, we won't actually see economically for like 3 or 4 years before everybody's like, oh, it's great again. And if the Republicans get voted out, and the Democrats will take credit for it. And if there was a Democrat in charge and they did it, then the Republicans, like, it's get rid of the politics behind it. But as far as like long term, moving the stuff back to the United States is actually good for the United States.
Agreed.
It just takes a long time.
It will, I think, make the products more expensive because labor in the United States is more.
Until we AI everything.
Right.
You'll have a car with 5 wheels.
But it'll be better.
Somehow
it'll be
better.
it'll be more efficient.
Look at its turning radius. Whee!
That fifth wheel just comes right down to the center and
Spins like a top.
it just goes like a unicycle.
All right. Hegseth.
So Hegseth. So I think this is the original one. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequalities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness.
Wait, he prayed this?
For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. And then he shoots the guy.
That's a Bible verse, though.
It is not. It is partly Ezekiel 25:17.
Yeah.
The last part, and you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. That is the Bible verse. All the rest of it is kind of made up.
He actually said this?
Yeah. So he didn't say that one.
Was it a teleprompter? Because there's no way.
No, it was written down. So if you scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
So Tarantino took this from another movie, like a samurai movie or something like that, and changed it for Pulp Fiction. So it's not exactly a Bible verse. And so the path of the downed aviator is beset on all sides by the inequalities of the selfish and tyranny of men. So they changed the words to make it aviator-like.
So they don't get hey, you patent infringement error.
It just matches because they're Air Force, right? So it matches their division. So blessed is he who, in the name of camaraderie and duty, shepherd the lost through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the final. So it's very similar. They just change it to make it more military. And I think Marines and Navy, they do this all the time with Semper Fi, the slogans and stuff.
All you got to do is just say more bombs, and then it's more military.
I think that's what happened. Is I think they had this, and they said it. He ran with it and didn't realize it was Pulp Fiction, or maybe he did. But now the media is just blasting him for stealing something from Tarantino.
So I will take you up on the. You think this is serious? I think the writer was serious. I think that was like he's like, I'm going to make him say this. It's going to sound great. It's going to create this big upstorm. I think Hegseth had no idea he was about to say that. He's probably reading it and going, "Yeah, that sounds good."
But it's a Bible
He
verse.
has no idea.
And he's very Bible-y. You know,
He could be.
was a Christian. And then in the same speech, he blasted the media as Pharisees. So when Jesus goes into the church to heal, I don't know,
That's
somebody
why I
with
think the
hand-
writer was serious.
The Pharisees were there to write and record, but not to, like, a miracle was happening in front of them, but all they could focus on was recording and documenting
All the rules and the
Yeah.
all the things you had to follow.
so they miss it. And he was saying that some of the press are the Pharisees in this because, you know, Trump can do good things, but all they write is the bad stuff, right? That's kind of what he was getting at. But
I can see that.
So, yeah.
I could see that argument because that happens like with the Mythos AI. We talked about that with them eating Palantir's lunch a few weeks ago. And when you watch the actual news articles about it, it's like they don't even explain what actually happened. They're like, oh, yeah, it could be a really good security thing. It's like, no, the thing got out of its box and started hacking stuff and published it online. Like, you're not even telling what happened.
Right.
And they're like, oh, yeah, it'll be really good. It'll be really good. It's like, no.
Tell the truth, but tell the entire truth. Tell everything that happened, the good, the bad, the ugly.
So it's like if
there wasn't any MFers in that speech, but in that scene, there was. But when he does the Bible verse, Samuel L. Jackson, there's no MFers in there.
Brian is quite the movie connoisseur. He is far beyond me in that space.
I used to watch a lot of movies, man.
I wish I could have that freedom someday. Maybe someday. I'm stuck working on spreadsheets all day though.
I don't watch as much now, but I used to watch a lot of movies when I was younger.
So I think he's serious is true. I think this is alluding to the media's perceived constant negativity. Hegseth said sometimes it's hard to figure out what side some of you are actually on.
Right.
I think that some of the stuff that they put out from this administration is intentionally to inflame the media or misdirect them.
They troll them all the time. Yeah.
I think, and the sad part is when you read it, they bite. Like they fully hook, line, and sinker. Did
you hear what Trump just said?
And it's like they get completely derailed. It's like it's not what's actually happening, but that's pretty. So do you think that's clever or incredibly stupid? What he did?
I think it's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it, other than unless you're.
Brian says no.
Unless you're seriously saying that this is a Bible verse from there, and you go to look it up, and it's like completely different than what he said, but.
Well, I don't think God ever said, "Do you feel lucky, punk? Do you?
Do you feel
lucky? Do you feel lucky, punk?"
Punk.
If he said that to me, I would not be happy. I would be very, very sad.
But I think if he would have come out and said, if we reference Pulp Fiction, it would have been fine.
So this is when you're looking at news articles. This is why, and I'm guessing this is where you're going with this. We look at both sides. We try to because there's so much misinformation out there.
You can't just peg yourself to Fox News or CNN or MSNBC. You got to look at all of them to get even a semblance of the true story.
Yes, and unfortunately, there's the consolidation on that front is still happening. There's just more of these small agencies are just getting bought out, and
that's why we like Ground.news. No.
It's brought to you by today's non-existent sponsor, Ground News. We don't have a sponsor, not yet. This one we're not going to talk about much because this talks about the same kind of thing where the Hegseth thing goes on. This is a debate where people are debating two different sides of imperialism.
Empire,
they some people get kind of passionate, and they're very passionately uneducated. Would be the way to describe it.
Would you say this is why you're not sending your kids to any of these schools?
Yes, this is why I'm not sending and it wasn't because that they had the debate. It's because like the people they're surrounded with, like 90% of them think that way. It's like, whoa, you're way out there.
If you have a time to watch it, it is actually a pretty good watch.
Yes.
I don't agree with what Hassan says and his outlook, but it's free speech, right? This is Yale debate club type thing. So he goes up, he's a guest at Yale, does a speech. People go up to give their speeches for and against. So there were people against what he said too, that they're for America and imperialism and empires and go USA type thing.
Yeah, but is some dude wearing a flannel shirt and a red hat and walks in there like, yeah.
No, this is
yeah,
Yale.
I like the United States.
This is Yale. They were all in suits and ties, you know. So
Oh, so it's a more of a refined one. It's like the Obama phone person who came on like the news after that. She was like super polished, completely different lady. Like, wait a minute, that's the same lady?
Wait, this isn't people from Cornell. Come on, this is Yale.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, it was a pretty good watch, and you just got to take it with a grain of salt. It's a lot of ideas, which are fine, but you just can't get married to those ideas.
I never get married to my own ideas, so we're great. It's all great. Sometimes I do, but then I forget, and then I get them again, and then it's like all new and fresh again. It's wonderful.
You get married to it, and then you put it in stone, and you can never divorce from your ideas. Come
Yes,
on.
I put them in tablets, and then I put them in an arc that zaps people if they don't follow the exact rules.
Once I have an idea, it is married for life. There is no divorcing it. I don't care what facts you give me.
God himself will not disagree with me. No,
You're wrong. I am not wrong, and I will prove it.
Yeah, and that's how that's how Tom ended. Done. So this is the very last part I got highlighted here is a pretty good takeaway from this. So this is a challenge for our time, actually, because it uses the word actually, and I like that word.
And the in capital letters.
I like the. Those are two good words. Actually, this is the challenge for our time, because if we do not do this, then the American empire will come to an end in a much more violent way. So Brian is right. When you watch this, please understand both of us think this is a little out there, but it's a good thing to get a handle on what's actually happening at our universities. Why do you care? Because these people typically get gobbled up by these large corporations that we're investing in. So you kind of want to know where they're going with the money that you're giving them.
Yep. These are the young people of our times that are going to go out and get jobs and the ideology that they are clinging on to.
At least what's left of them anyways. There's not a lot of people getting born lately. So on that note, economically, Wall Street put out this article that talks about the largest foreign holders of United States Treasury securities and basis trade. And this is the April 2026 update. And he's saying that the foreign demand for the ballooning U.S. Treasury debt, because we talk about the debt cycle. If you print money, somebody has to buy it, essentially. A bond, Treasury. You got to buy a Treasury or a bond. One of those two things. Or a Treasury, actually.
Or
the bonds. So the foreign demand for the ballooning U.S. Treasury debt is an increasingly important issue, but how much of that demand is actually foreign? And I think this is a really good point because people are all up in arms about inflation and, you know, the federal deficit and all the things that are happening. Now, do I think that us being in $39 trillion of debt is a problem? Yes. Yes, I do. Do I think that it is as big of a problem as everybody's making it out to be? No, I do not. As long as we have foreign investments and as long as we have the United States dollar as the ability to be the world's reserve currency, we should be just fine. We do have to be careful about that. And you'll notice that Wolf Richter's stance is relatively similar to mine. Now, he'll probably get on and disagree with me, but at this point, you've got all foreign investors combined. So here you go. All foreign investors combined piled onto another $198 billion of Treasury securities in February. So this is this year. $587 billion over the past 12 months, bringing their total holdings to a record $9.5 trillion, according to the Treasury Department data today. So this is foreign investors buying our debt. So when we print money, these are people saying, hey, pay me 4%, pay me 4.5% or whatever for this.
I like how you just casually round up $10 billion.
$10 million. 9.5 is 9.49 to 9.5.
9 trillion.
Hey, this Tom math.
4 is 400 billion. 9 would be 90 billion. So you rounded up $10 billion to 9.5.
Brian, I work in government, and this is how government math works. See what I did there?
Just round up.
They do this. So anytime we print this money, this is what happens to it. And you can look at this nice little chart with the little lines on it, and the
Very
lines do a
colorful.
lot of colorful things, and they have little bullet points, and those bullet
Republicans are
points do
higher
things.
than the Democrats.
That's not what
Red
this
and the
chart
blue.
is.
Oh, okay.
So the which long-term treasuries, that's the blue.
Okay.
And then the all of them is the red. So you can see that they're going up pretty much in lockstep. So you can say the driver behind the multi-year increase were private foreign holders. They increased their treasury holdings by 117.0000 billion in February and by 461 billion over the 12-month period, which is also 365 days, Brian, to a record
quarter.
5.45. See, I didn't say 0.5. I said 0.45 trillion, and that's in the red in the chart below. So these private foreign investors include financial firms in other countries, foreign bond funds, foreign companies, individuals. So basically, it's like everyone, anybody who wants to buy a bond. And you can see this here. Foreign private, foreign officials. So the red line here is basically people like us or companies or large corporations, and then the blue is governments. So essentially, you can see that a lot of people outside the United States that are not government entities, and these could be banks, these could be central banks, do actually believe that the United States isn't going anywhere. So what that means is that the chances of this crashing like a giant boulder as a boat anchor in the ocean, like crypto people think it will, is almost zero. Not zero, but almost. So it's like the Jim Carrey. You're telling me there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance.
Dumb and Dumber. Look at him go.
But it's like me trying to get that cheerleader to a date in high school. It's a tiny chance. It's not going to happen.
And keep in mind, when you look at the reserve money of the world, historically speaking, we're still looking at hundreds of years to change and not like decades.
Yeah.
Not saying it couldn't take decades, but historically speaking, it takes hundreds of years.
If you want an example, look at the Roman Empire. We are not Romans, but that is it took a long time for
The Roman Empire, the British Empire, the French Empire, it's hundreds of years. If
Generations.
not thousands,
Yep. So this is not going to be, and at least in my eyes, this is not going to be something that happens right away.
Right.
This next chart that he has, he goes, the percentage share. Now, if you want, I would recommend you read the whole article and read the comments. The comments are always hilarious because he doesn't hold any punches, and I kind of like that. So the percentage share of U.S. Treasury securities held by foreign holders. So you can see this chart looks very dramatic, but look at the percentages on the left. You're going from roughly 4% back in 2015 down to about 24%-ish. So a big shift, China and Hong Kong versus Euro-Asia. They had, they added 8 billion in February, and then they shed 96 billion. China is releasing their holdings. This is cyclical for the most part, but there's also a demographic part to this that I don't think we have time to talk about today because you have to leave in 15 minutes?
I would like to.
Yeah, Brian's got to leave in 15 minutes, so we got to wrap this part up relatively quickly.
We started late.
We did, and it's because I have a job.
He worked.
I worked. Brian doesn't really work. So the United States securities, those are my kids. United States Treasury securities held by China, Hong Kong, and Euro-Asia. Now here's the flip. Blue is China, Europe is red. Notice what's actually happening. You can see here that as time goes on, this number is still going up. You can look at what's coming back from China. China has a different issue that's contributing to this, and I don't think a lot of people understand what that issue is. Well, this next chart talks about Japan, pretty flat. And then he gets into what all the other countries are doing. And then that's this last one here. I believe this is the last one. No, it isn't. Where am I? Hang on. Oh, no.
There's a lot more, man.
There's a lot more. See, oh my goodness.
You're so wrong.
I'm so wrong. Glad you're paying attention to
You got the
everybody.
Cayman Islands to go through. And
So this breaks down that first chart by all these different countries. So if you can look at United States, United Kingdom, Canada, France. I always got to show France, Taiwan, India, I'm actually surprised that India's going down. They're trying to push their own currency. I get it, but Brazil's having a huge economic problem right now,
Yeah.
and that's
Brazil's last.
it's kind of it. And then you can get into the comments. We're not going to get into the comments. My point here is that when you're talking about macroeconomics, you're thinking, oh, recession's got to happen. You got to look at what's going on with our currency, and you got to look at what's going on with like overall GDP in the United States. Right now, GDP is not growing much. It's kind of flat. But the debt that's being bought, we still have people buying debt. And it's very interesting to see how much of that debt is internal and how much of it is foreign. And we still have interest foreign as far as like people buying that. So give this a read. Put this in the back of your mind when you're buying stocks, that when I say that I think United States companies are not going anywhere, here's some evidence to that.
At least not in our lifetime.
Not that we know of. Now, if Hershey goes away, I'll be sad. I'll be sad. So here's another point to part with.
Tariffs.
Tariffs, yep. So we have the United States just posted a massive 55% deficit cut, which this is hilarious to me. Trump calls it the biggest drop in history.
Of course it is. It's the biggest drop in history. It's the most wonderful.
Nobody does tariffs like I do tariffs.
I got to work on that.
Everybody says
that
so.
Impression.
I have the best tariffs from the best people, from the brightest people. Everybody says so. No, he was right, though. We talked about tariffs being good for the United States long term. Not a single article came out at the time was positive about it.
Well,
Everybody was that.
You can't say he did anything good.
I get it. I understand that it could be forcing a negotiation with somebody who is taking advantage of you and doesn't want to admit it. It's not easy to do, and you have to put them in a position where they are forced to do it. We said that these were going to be used as a negotiating tool, and almost nobody saw it that way. Why? Because Trump goes onto Twitter and he stirs the pot.
He does.
Sometimes not intentionally. Sometimes he just kind of does it.
A lot of times it's intentional, though.
This is the result of that. We have not had a deficit cut like this in a long time. And I think it's important. I do think trade needs to be fair for both parties involved. And for a while, I think he was right. It was not fair. I think we need to make it fair. And this is a lot of the reason why that the United States is seeing a lot of manufacturing. Whether or not that brings jobs back is yet to be seen, but a lot of that's coming back to the United States. And I think this is a good thing, especially if you own domestic stocks. Now, if you own foreign stocks, this might not be a good thing. So you're talking about imperialism, Tom. No, I'm not. I am talking about trying to make sure that the United States takes care of itself first before we destroy our own culture and investments in the economy.
And America First is not isolationism. It's America First.
Take care of your neighbors, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, people at your church, whatever. Then once your plate's full, then you can help out other people. If you don't do that and you're sitting there starving just like everybody else, you can't help anybody.
Right.
So this is the... is this his key phrase here? Is this like what he's calling himself?
No, that he's saying that to tariffs.
Thank you, Mr. Tariff.
Yeah.
Give me your squeaking Brian.
He's anamorphizing tariffs into a little tariff character. Mr. Tariff.
The sharp narrowing of the first 2 months of the year was driven by 62, I'm going to actually say the number, 0.6
Thank you.
billion year-over-year increase in exports alongside a 75.3 billion decline in imports. This has implications, so we do think that this is good for the United States, but a lot of these businesses that were doing, going overseas, that were doing business outside the United States, are losing money. The reason why we sold Honda Motor Corp is because like aluminum, materials and just the tariffs themselves were causing these businesses to rethink how they manufacture and where they ship stuff to. So in theory, sure, it reduces the trade deficit for the United States, but the businesses that you're investing in are impacted. And you have to make sure you know how they're going to be impacted to benefit or at least not get yourself cut off at the knees.
Right.
So while I do think the tariffs overall are not necessarily bad, there's also parts of them that are not good. And in case of investments, this is one of those. If you are a Honda Motor Corp and you saw these things hit and you're thinking 60% net revenue loss, that's real. I mean, that's not a small number either. So we pay attention to these things because they affect everything that we've got in here almost directly. And especially if you have foreign investment stocks, you're probably getting brutalized.
Yep.
So this is, I can close this stuff and close Nike, close that one. Okay, we're back to the thumbs up of Trump, which I'm kind of surprised they're somewhat positive about this. So, whenever he talks, he always does this. It's like an accordion. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Anyways, this is kind of where I want you people to read this. If you see the tariffs help or harm,
Yes.
yes,
The answer.
they do both. So economists generally view the tariffs as a double-edged sword, and I would agree with this. On one hand, they can protect domestic industries by making imported goods more expensive, giving local manufacturers a competitive edge. This is why the manufacturing is coming back. They don't have to pay the tariff. On the other hand, higher tariffs may result in increased costs for consumers. And I would contend, not just consumers, but as companies pass on those extra expenses, the companies themselves are not going to be able to pass on all the expenses. Staffing, for example, if you were hiring people in India and you were getting them to do your work, you're not paying them the same amount that you would pay somebody in the United States. So if you move that from India to the United States, you're going to be paying a lot higher costs. It's like, well, I'm going to move that back onto the consumer. Yeah, but not the way the people think. Because if your costs are higher and your product gets so expensive that you can't compete with your competitors, you're going to go out of business.
Right.
So you have to make sure that you're somewhat in line with that. So there's going to be some reduced profit margins. So we're watching this really closely to not see who we can be opportunistic with, but to make sure who we're not going to cut, they're not going to punish us for that. So
And keep in mind, it's not necessarily the companies that are exporting to us and we're importing that are paying the cost of the tariff. It's the importer who pays the cost of the tariff and then passes that on to the internal consumer of the companies.
Keep in mind logistics. Logistics. I said the word.
The L word.
So they're talking about it can generate significant revenue for the federal government. Speaking of taxes, we just filed taxes, and oh my goodness. That's all I'm going to say.
That's all you need to say, man.
Goodness.
Everybody knows how you feel.
It's like the Jetsons, he holds out the wallet and he takes $1 out and she takes the whole thing. That's how I felt. It's like, man, do they need more? Why do we spend so much money? Anyways, that's a different argument. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to squirrel. So this article keeps going. That's the main part that I want people to understand is that when we talk about, and somebody talks to me about a foreign stock or something, this is the lens that you have to look through it. And this is why we also say whoever's in charge, global events do influence your investments because policy does that.
Yep.
And here's some more evidence of that. So there you go.
And don't get married to your ideas or ideology because it is true that both good people can do very bad things, but also very bad people can do very good things. The both are true.
Well, I had to marry my ideology because I couldn't get any of them cheerleaders. So
That's true.
I had to do something.
That's my lesson for today.
That's Brian's deep moment, almost destroyed by Tom. Like on a plane, you put on your wait. Like on a plane, put your oxygen mask on first before helping others with theirs. Exactly like that.
Because if you can't breathe and you're dead, you can't help your kid anyway.
Yep. And if we don't take care of our deficit and our debt problem, we are not going to be able to help out other countries.
Right.
And all those bonds that Wolf Richter talked about, nobody's going to be interested in investing in that either. So we need to do that. We need to take care of it. I don't think we have time to get into this.
What else do we have?
We've got the housing market and then the Artemis thing. I want to kind of show people this. Maybe we'll do this next week. Yeah. But the housing market is part to play in this. And I think there's not enough people talking about the demographics of the world.
Right.
We talked about the population drop that's coming. We had a big map and chart out there. Maybe we'll put that in the next stream. But right now, it's funny to me to see these articles. This is the one we'll cover. And
I've
then,
got a bone to pick with this article.
oh, do you?
Yep.
Oh, all right. So here's the article. This is this says the first time home buying plunges to record low as baby boomers prevent younger Americans from ever owning. And it's a little political, like the other one.
It is.
But it's New York Post. Imagine that, them being political. But we'll talk about this one, and maybe we'll expand upon that a little bit next week, because there's a really good article here that talks about the single-family home sales. So keep this in mind. I'll just give you the link here, and we'll show you the chart. This is another Wolf Richter article, and this is the sales of single-family homes, and this is the seasonally adjusted rate. Note that it is down where it was in 2008 to 2010, and it's been there ever since the interest rates started going back up in 2023. These are people buying homes for the first time. There's a demographic reason for this as much as there is a financial one. So it's not as simple as New York Post makes it sound, but this is kind of what you can see the months of supply. And just so you know, if you read these articles, a real estate agent will tell you a typical housing market that's considered healthy will not be above 6 months of supply. They'll be hovering somewhere around there. That's considered healthy. Right now, we're still not healthy, and there's still not a lot of homes out there. It's changing, but it's changing in a way that I would consider as unhealthy. And you can see this median price. So when you read the New York Post article, back that up by reading this one too, because that will explain a little bit more about where they're right and where they're wrong. And there you go. Sales of condos. Look at how bad that is.
That is bad.
It's a cliff. It's like going down a mountain. And then there you go. 30-year fixed mortgage rate. That's somewhat interest rates from the Fed, and that's somewhat demand driven. So that's a different, yeah. And by the way, if you ever look at these rates in the 80s, those the old timers will tell you, yeah, we had a mortgage in the 1980s and it was like 17, 18%. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But your house would also only cost you $80,000.
That's if that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that. So you can see all the different regions he gets into. And then as far as that goes, this is where I wanted to bring into eventually the demographics for Russia, China, the United States, and the birth rates and stuff. But right now, this article is my beef with it. It turns it into generational warfare, and I don't think that's the right
Baby
thing.
boomers are hanging on to the houses that the older millennials should be buying, and they're not, because where were they going to go?
Where are they going to buy?
The baby boomers, like, where are they going to go if they sold?
Is that your beef with the article?
Nope.
All right. What's your beef?
So they turn it into generational warfare. Do you know how many times they mention Generation X?
What generation?
X. My generation.
There's a Generation X?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Who knew?
Once. Just to say that it was a time when we're given away to the millennials in the form of new families buying houses. It used to be Generation X, and that's all they say. We evidently don't own houses or
exist at all.
And that's kind of that's my generation. We just sit back and just let you guys fight it out.
I don't understand why they oversimplify things in these articles. So the New York Post says, for many, the American dream is losing steam. As baby boomers remain the largest generational group of home buyers in the last year, the share of first-time buyers plunged to its lowest level on record, according to a sobering study released on Wednesday by the National Association of Realtors. That could be them like polling 5 or 6 guys and be like, hey, what do you think about this?
Also, they're not paying attention to the fact that the baby boomers are the biggest generation of numbers, hence the baby boomer name, right? They were the largest. Then Generation X was a little bit smaller, and then Millennials is smaller yet. So yeah, they have more people until they start dying,
and they've had decades to save up for houses. So that's kind of a point.
Well,
there.
they've had decades to save up, but they also bought a house and then paid it off or used the equity to that to buy another house. Gen X is quietly watching the fight and playing Sheryl Crow CDs. That's right,
no.
man. Rando question for the stream. If you were lost in the woods and could only pick one non-tech item to carry with you, what would it be and why?
Brian goes first.
If I was lost in the woods and could only pick one non-tech item, attempts to squirrel and keep Brian longer. One non-tech item. Non-tech.
Thank you, Mardo Chaos. Thank you, Mardo Chaos. Come on, Brian. I already know because I'm married to my own ideology, remember?
I wonder, I guess it would have to be like, what do we define as tech? Do we find like a compass?
Well, if you're a
As
caveman, like a fire is technology.
Yeah. It'd probably be a compass.
If you're Elon Musk, the apparently AI girlfriend is technology. So,
Is a fishing rod technology?
which is so weird. That guy has like 17 children. But anyways,
He's quietly repopulating the world
by himself.
all by himself. Go Elon.
Brian doesn't know.
It would probably one of those really cool Rambo knives that we had in the 90s. That had like the fishing line in the back and all that stuff, and the compass and the.
So you can fight a bear and win.
So I could like build a, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would pick.
You know what I'd pick? This is also why
A tent.
this is also why I probably did not get to date the cheerleaders. A mirror.
Shine at planes.
In hopes that somebody would actually try to rescue me. Save me, please don't let me go.
You're blinding the planes. They keep crashing. Damn, there's another one.
There's like 12 planes that are crashed and burned by the time somebody finally finds me.
I'd bring Tom. Yeah.
To have all his tech with him. Bring Tom.
You'd have all your tech with you.
No,
you're
you'd
not
be
technology, so I'd just bring you.
You'd be dead. That's not a good plan.
I like mine.
It's like, did you know the oak tree takes 16 years to develop 5 different rings? Even though we say that the rings in the tree actually grow 1 per year, it's actually dependent upon the weather cycles, the rain, the sun, and the overall climate before it develops an actual ring. Years of stress can mean that the rings are so close together that you just don't even notice. And then Brian dies, and he grabs the mirror and wonders why I asked to bring the mirror. It's actually so I can comb my almost non-existent hair. But do I look good? Okay, when they find me as a skeleton, I will look good.
It will look good.
I will still look good.
Still gonna hang on to that mirror idea?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
I do believe that if I get lost in the woods, that at least one person will try to find me. Like, there will be somebody, please. And if I die, it's like, well, I will hopefully not die thinking that nobody loves me. I will die thinking, well, at least they tried, but boy, did I get lost.
I think mine's
Where
more
the heck
practical.
am I?
My answer is more practical. It'll keep me alive longer before.
Yes, Brian's answer probably will, and mine might actually down a rescue plane.
If you could
It's
actually like
shine it right at him.
get rescued before you needed food and water, I guess that would work.
I could probably, if you know, see if there's a river nearby. Is there water nearby where this thing is, or am I in the Sahara Desert? Because I'm not bringing a mirror to the
It's
Sahara.
in the woods, right?
Yeah, you said woods.
I'd bring matches so I could burn down the thing, and then the people will come to put it out, and I'd be saved.
Brian's answer is burn it all down.
Start a forest fire.
I'm taking this forest with me, you jerks. I'm talking to you, Mr. Squirrel.
If you look and you
No, we're not doing that.
find
No.
me there, time after time.
You really did listen to that.
What?
You are Generation X.
Yeah.
You Generation X. I think that's what we
Always be
got.
waiting.
We are 7 minutes late.
All right.
Brian's got to go.
I got a father-in-law birthday to go to.
So next week, I think what we're going to do is we're going to probably extrapolate this a little bit more. We will probably look at, and thanks for the question, by the way. We will probably take a look at some of those stocks. We might sell Intel. Maybe.
That's going to hurt.
The problem is I got to figure out what to buy.
I'm emotionally attached to Intel.
I got to figure out what to buy if we sell it. Because if you sell it, somebody thinks it's worth more than you do if they buy those shares.
Yeah.
So why do they think it's worth more?
And then we got to buy something that is beat up like
Nike.
Nike.
They're probably not out of their lawsuits yet, though. So I think that's what we'll do. If you guys got questions or things that you want us to talk about, if you got articles, send us a comment. We'll see that. We'll throw it in there, and maybe we'll talk about it.
Amen, brother.
The woods of the Sahara Desert. Is there such a thing? The petrified forest.
There you go.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We will see you all next week.
Thank you for hanging. And as always,
Happy investing.
happy investing. Peace out.